Hey folks, it's Glenn and Slim with a Cactus Atlas, and today we're going to take you on an adventure out into the barren Arizona desert, somewhere out beyond. So what we're going to do today, to give you more information, is our adventure really starts here on this frontage road, right off of Interstate 8. It's hilarious. If you've driven to San Diego, between San Diego and Phoenix, you've driven through here. It's so barren out here in this section. It's just nothing. So what we're seeking out today is a place called Sears Point, and it's somewhere out in the desert here, right near the Gila River. I've heard mixed things about the road going back here, but probably the most common report is that it gets a little hairy, probably not the best for two-wheel drive vehicles, and not good for anybody after recent rains. And I think it's pretty dry today, although there are going to be rains later tonight, I hear. So we've gotten here just in time. Alright, so you can see clearly this road so far, piece of cake. I don't know what they're talking about not being able to get back here, although I know better. I know that's going to change sometime soon. It is an absolutely beautiful landscape though, isn't it? Just looking off in all directions. Occasionally you see RVs hanging out. Probably this is all like either Arizona State Trust land that we're driving through, or BLM, I think all the way, a combination of both. And that's okay because I have a permit for Arizona State Trust land, so I am allowed to recreate in it, and I'm in it right now, driving in the truck. Now, the story about this place we're going to today, Sears Point, not sure why it's even named that, is that it was right off of a very popular route that even people in the 1800s traveled, but people long before that were hanging out here in this region, not far from the Gila River, out in this desert, a lifeline for folks, and many left their marks. And some of you are probably familiar with a place called, I think it's Painted Rocks. It's a campground in Petroglyph site, a former state park, now in the ownership of the BLM, is not far from here. So if you're familiar with that, you probably are gonna have a good idea of the kind of thing we could expect to see today. I know I take you guys out on lots of adventures, out to see native Indian, like old cultures, their ruins, their petroglyphs, their pictographs. So I hope I don't go over the top with that. It's one of my favorite things to seek out here in the desert for sure. And whenever I can mix in a hard to get to location, it's a bonus because I can try to bring something to you that for many it would be hard to get out here, either just because they don't have the right type of vehicle or it's just not fittable into an itinerary. If you're coming out here to visit it, this is probably not the thing you'd think to do if you came to our state. I've also heard this is an excellent place to go to avoid people. So you guys all know that I love that and my loner ways. So I'd be not surprised if we see one or two folks because it is the weekend, Saturday. So some other fellow weekend warriors, off-roaders hanging out. This is a destination, so destinations are fun, but really out here, nothing. It is just barrenness and ruins. Oh wow, you know what? We might need to make a quick side stop here to see something. I see some adobe brick. So yeah, right off the road is this what I saw. I don't know how old this is. Usually if it's something like this, it's got some age to it. I don't know anything. There's nothing on my map about what the stop is. So my best guess is a 20th century ranch house of some sort that's just been left to decay out here. Yeah, I wish I knew more about what this is or was. This is a fantastic one, isn't it? This is really cool though. Look at this. See if there's any hints on the inside as to what this could be. Lots of modern graffiti. Maybe we can find hints here. I think I see 2005, so we know this has been here at least that long. Yeah, I just like to pause and wonder was this somebody's home at one point, or maybe a cattle operation. You know, lots of cattle in the history of this area, certainly still in modern times, lots of farms, all sorts of things. So you gotta wonder, but you know, looking at some of the construction, you can see the nails have rounded heads, so I think that's a hint that we're not talking about 1800s, and corrugated like cardboard up on the top. So my guess is this thing probably seen use. I wouldn't be surprised even in the last like 30, 40, 50 years. But I am totally just making all that up. I have no way to know. I would say in recent times too, this is probably the most photogenic piece of adobe structure that I've seen. So if you're into that sort of thing and like photography, maybe make note of this one just for that. I can even hear the interstate out there, Interstate 8, so we have not come far. And so far, any vehicle can get down here. You just got to know about it. Oh man, you can see this whole side, this whole wall just came falling out. Seen that before with these kinds of structures. And you got to wonder why this wall and when and what caused that. All right, that was quite a treat, I must say. The unknown adobe structure out here in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. I kind of like the mysteries and not knowing. It just makes you wonder, you know? We're also testing out new equipment today. A new gimbal with a different camera on it, different mic, different everything. So hopefully everything sounds good today. If not, we will make adjustments in the future. I just like to have a disclaimer like that, just in case. But let us know what you think. If it sounds any different or the same. All right, gotta make sure to look both ways before turning. All right, I don't know why that's so funny. Anyway, really cool adobe structure left to rot to time.
Continue on Avenue 76 East for 3 miles.
I will do. Here's probably the kind of things they're talking about. You got some sand, you got some very uneven, rutted roads. It's bone dry right now, but yeah, I could see this here being kind of starting to get problematic. So I'm starting to walk back my thing of saying any car can get through here. Although I'm still leaning towards it still. Just so hesitant to say that, because one day someone's gonna take me up on it and then scream when they get stuck. So you make your own decisions. Feel free to use the video you see to make that decision. If you plot a course to where we're going, Google Maps shows us that we're almost at the very end here. Less than a half mile, but I'm pretty sure that's not the end, and you gotta be careful with these kind of like big ditches that opens up after heavy rains like that. Ugh. Here's where I think people talk about getting stuck in the mud. I could see this. After a heavy rain and flooding, forget about it. You can get lost back here if you're not careful. It's like a maze, and I'm really not following any maps. I'm just visually making my way over where I think I need to go, and then just following this 2-track, and it kind of splits off and goes in different directions. So very, very snaky. But yeah, you see those cliffs right up ahead? That's where we're heading. It is truly like a maze back here. Bring GPS. Offline maps, that's what I do. Ah, yes. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see. I think we have made it. I'm looking for other cars to see if I'm alone out here. Because I think there's different ways we can attack this whole thing, and including going up above to the top. And there's lots to talk about still. Haven't really started to talk to you about what we're doing in more detail. This must be Sears Point though. All right, we've made it to a very windy Sears Point. I'm excited to get in on there and check it out. Really, I'm not even sure where to start. They don't really give you a map or anything here. I've just been watching other people's videos, but you really can't tell where everything's at. Although, right off the bat, my eye spies what I think might be petroglyphs. Way up on yonder hillside up there. Let's go see if I'm right. Might as well start somewhere, right? All over the hillside here are petroglyphs galore. I think we're just getting started. But right up there at the top, if I can get up there, There's some really good ones, so let's see what I can do about that. Let's see what we can find up here. Oh boy, there's a big panel right over there. If you're patient and look where everybody else walks, it's actually quite easy to get up here at the top. And check this out. So I'm on the lookout for lots of things. There are markings from multiple cultures out here. That of the Hohokam, probably the most well-known. Also another culture called the Patayans from southern California. And even the markings I hear of people going back 10,000 years or so. But most of these are probably Hohokam and Patayan if I had to guess. All right, so one thing I read about is you can tell the difference between which cultures were more likely to have left some of these petroglyphs, and I read conflicting things already. My online research said that stick figures and anthropomorphic figures are probably those of the Patayan culture, not the Hohokam. The Hohokam would have done more of the animals and geometric shapes, things like that. But down there, they attribute the Hohokam to some of these stick figures also, so I really don't know. Maybe one of you guys out there knows what it is, but yeah, lots to see though already right off the bat. It's awesome. Not only are there etchings though from those people that didn't have their own written language, there's etchings from people here in the pioneer periods in the 1800s. Somewhere out here, this was a very well-traveled route back in the day. But yeah, look at all this rock. It's dark with desert varnish. This is the thing that makes it possible for them to scratch out their markings. It's hard not to wonder how many rattlesnakes, like if I could see through a rock and find all of the nooks and crannies that they're coiled up in, hibernating or sleeping in there are here. I don't want to know. So there's really no prescribed way to go. We were just on top of that cliff up there at the very top, walking along the edge. It wasn't too hard, so now I'm going to switch ways, and I think I might see more up this way. I mean, there are supposed to be thousands here, just to put it in perspective. There are quite a few on this rock. They're just hard to see. If I turn this way, here's some interesting geometry, indicative of earlier cultures, they said. You might remember in our trip to the Deer Valley Petroglyph Preserve, they talk about concentric circles as being where my head is in the shadow right there. But popular sign of the Hohokam, I think. I'm just following this trail along the backside of this now because so far the trails have not let me down. I was reading they don't think there are a lot of people lived in this immediate vicinity, but it may have been a gathering place. Certainly with all the routes here over the hundreds or if not thousands of years that people followed along the Gila River, which is not far from here. This just may have been a place of convergence, and you get a good view from up high, so maybe it's strategic also. Yeah, so far, all of the major ones we've seen are on those two hills over there. On the other side mainly. Just so curious why that is. Any guesses, you guys? You know, the wind's a buzzkill too. So while I want to explore this thoroughly even more, that's just a deterrent. Especially with the grit in my mouth. Some of you guys ask sometimes on the show why I wear those scarf things. I never associated them with like a cultural thing. I just would wear them to block my face in moments like this. Now I wish I had it. So I opted to come back to the beginning here again. And we're gonna go a little bit further down this way, which we haven't done yet. Because that was really a bust back there, unless I just didn't know where everything is. I think I found the grand finale maybe just in time because I was about to give up and go home. Ooh, wow. Okay, this seems to be the best spot so far. I don't want to claim that it's the best, but boy, you got all sorts here. Deer, weird geometric patterns. That is amazing. Presumably Hohokam origins, because I heard they like their animals. You see lots of these deer with the round bellies. I've seen a lot of those. There's another one with a bow and arrow. So curious what these things mean. And these people didn't have any written language, by the way. So this is as close as you're gonna get to these people, I think. My best guess, it's hard to see, but it looks like it says like CC or FC December 27th. I'm gonna guess, it's hard to see what that is. Is that 1800s or a 19? I'm gonna guess 1900s graffiti, but certainly not Hohokam in origins. Now a reason why you would see a lot of this stuff from non-natives in this area would be there were routes. The Butterfield stage coach line came through here at one point in the 1800s, before the railroads even, and this was called, I think, the Southern Trail or the Southern Route, following the Gila River, and even back into the 1600s the Spanish were exploring this area, Anza and others that we've talked about on this show. So many have passed through this way throughout time, and that's why we presume all of these markings from not only the ancients reside here, but also from not that long ago. Looks promising. Once again, the foot traffic really shows you where to go if you come here, so look for that, because look what I just found. More. So it's over there on that cliff face where we saw, we'll call it the main panel of the day. The best part is over here. We parked on the other side of that thing. Well, there you go, folks. There you have it. Sears Point Petroglyphs. Wow, just wow. If anything, I'm glad I could have brought you out here today with me to come see this remote location in Arizona, and maybe you one day will get a chance to come visit yourself. I'll see you next time.